Christians at Antioch, a gateway story. Well, this particular story is really quite easy to learn. You have exciting things happening, and then it calms down. Then exciting things happening, and then it calms down. I'm going to go through and show you the actual storyboard for this, but in truth, this story doesn't need much of a storyboard. There's another way you may want to learn this story. In the past, I've encouraged you to draw the stories out, and that would be good for this as well. But if you want to learn it as a group, there's what I would call "and then what happened" activity. It's where you get a group together and one person is assigned just to make sure that it keeps moving. You don't discuss at this point what the story means or any spiritual significance of it. You only want to get through the story and to visualize it. One person would simply say, "and then what happened?" And as a group, different ones would tell the next thing. And as soon as it comes to a little bit of a pause, the person would say, "and then what happened?" And go through the whole story. Then go back and ask questions like, well, what did Barnabas look like? Well, we don't know what Barnabas looked like, but it doesn't matter. What you're looking for here is to see it in your mind's eye. Visualize. When you talk about Barnabas, you see something. Share with one another what you see. What did Antioch look like? And just go through all the various aspects of the story and kind of visualize through the whole story, getting literally a storyboard in your mind. A very good way to learn it. But some of you learn best by doing the hand gestures. So let's just go through that, and that'll help you with the other as well. Okay, I'm going to give you the first part before you do anything, and then I'll get your hands up and I will have you do it. As I said, there's the activity part, the action, the fast-moving part. And then it slows down when they start to describe Barnabas. Then it gets active again. Then it slows down at the end when they think about the famine that is coming. So, the very first part, I'll go through it first, and then I will have you join me. It goes back and forth, up and down. Okay. We have persecution in Jerusalem, or let's just say persecution. So they go to Antioch. Then they preach Jesus. This is the sign for Jesus. They preach Jesus. You see how I'm going back and forth. Persecution, Antioch. Preach Jesus to the Jews and then the Gentiles. And the power of God is in their life. And many Gentiles come to Christ. The church hears about it. Okay, get your hands up and do just that much with me. Remember, it is going back and forth and then up and back. Okay, so we have what? Get your hands up. Okay, persecution. Go to Antioch. Preach Jesus to the Jews, then the Gentiles. Now, at this point right here, when you come over this way, you want to point that direction, but you want to make a fist and bring it in. The power of God. And many people come to Christ. And then your hand's right out here, and you just bring it right back. The church hears about it and sends Barnabas. Okay, let's just do that much again. Persecution. Go to Antioch. They preach Jesus to the Jews, then to the Gentiles. Your fists coming up here. The power of God, many Gentiles. Church hears about it and sends Barnabas. Now your hand goes up. He sees the blessing of God and he's thrilled. And he encourages them to stay with what they've been taught. Okay. So, you just watch. We have persecution, Antioch, preach Christ, Jews, Gentiles, power of God, many Gentiles. They hear, they send Barnabas, and he sees the blessing of God, and he's thrilled. He encourages them, and he encourages them to be true to what they've learned. Now, you may want to stop the film at this point and practice just that much until you think you have it. Come back and we'll go on to the personal part about Barnabas. So we start with to the Gentiles and the power of God. Many Gentiles are come to Christ, and Jerusalem hears about it. They send Barnabas, who sees the blessing of God, and he's thrilled. He encourages them to be true to what they've been taught. Now, at this point, it becomes personal. It's been very active at this point. And the people responded because Barnabas was a good man. Just bring your hand up. He was a good man. He was full of the Holy Spirit and faith. This is the sign language for faith. You have your hand up here and you just bring it down. Faith. So, full of the Holy Spirit and faith. So that's just one action. Full of the Holy Spirit and faith. So the church hears about it. They send Barnabas, who sees the blessing of God, and he's thrilled. So he encourages them to stay true to what they've been taught. The people are drawn to Barnabas because he's a good man, and he's full of the Holy Spirit and faith. And many people, now we're getting back to the active part again, many people come to Christ. Barnabas needs help, so he looks for Saul, and the two of them come back and preach to the people. So what is that? He is a good man, full of the Holy Spirit and faith. Many people come to Christ. So that Barnabas looks for Saul. Two of them come back and they preach to many people. This, to me, is the key to the whole thing. You just bring your hand down, and they were called Christians. For the first time, they were called Christians. But you just say, they were called Christians. Now, you get to the part where it's very slow again. You put your hand up next to your head and said, God reveals to them about a famine. Now, this is actually famished, but a famine, that's a sign language for famished, but God reveals to them there'll be a famine, and they're concerned, so they give to the Christians in Jerusalem. Kind of get your hand, kind of your hand going out right here. Let's just back up a little bit, and then we'll go through the whole thing. Okay, we have Barnabas is a good man, full of the Holy Spirit and faith. Many people come to Christ. So he searches for Saul. Two of them come back, and they preach to all the people. They're called Christians. God reveals to them about a famine. They're concerned, so they give. Okay, let's go through the whole thing. I'll try to go slow so that you can lead, and I will follow you. So you start. How's the thing start? Okay, back and forth, remember? Persecution. Went to Antioch. Preached Christ to the Jews, to the Gentiles. The power of God. Many people, many Gentiles accept Christ so that the church hears about it. Sends Barnabas, who sees the blessing of God, and he's thrilled. So he encourages them to stay true to what they've been taught. Barnabas was a good man, filled with the Holy Spirit and faith. Many people come to Christ. So that Barnabas looks for Saul. Two of them come back to preach, teach all the people. Called Christians. God reveals to them about a famine, their concern, and give to the Christians. Okay, go over that several times. Practice it. Practice it with someone else. Then the key, as always, the key is to stumble through the story. The first time you tell this story, assume that you will do a poor job. That is the gateway. That's the gateway that leads you into telling the story well, is to be willing to tell it poorly. Those areas that you mess up will be the ones that you'll never forget again. Tell it a second time and then a third time. Well, the Lord bless you as you continue to go through the book of Acts. I hope you're keeping up with us and learning these fantastic stories. The Lord bless you.